What is up, fellow thermonuclear AFers? I am Dan Valley coming at you with an off the beat segment here. Had a couple of podcast ghostings / cancellations at the last minute. And since I've been smashing the over under on so many of these NBA team look aheads, which you should check out, playlist on YouTube, Apple, Spotify as well. Subscribe to us everywhere. Go check those out. But I figured why not try and go through this, and I'll do it in real time. I will have Grant Hughes is going to come back, and we're going to do our over-unders for the East and the West. So we'll go a little bit more into detail on these, but just figured to do it off the cuff. I'm not looking at over-unders while I'm doing this, and I know some of the lines have moved anyway. I'll have the win totals. We got to get to 12:30 on each column. So let's see, go back and where I have to correct when I take wins away from. I just feel like it'll be super interesting. Very quickly, though, if you haven't already, please help us continue to grow the podcast. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're watching the video. Hit that like button and comment to make the algorithm love us back. Also, subscribe to us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Download every episode. Wherever you're consuming us, do it on the other mediums as well. And if you have reviews and ratings, you could throw on Spotify and Apple. That means the world as well. Also, retweet our promos that I put out on Twitter. We have a couple milestones. We missed our 10K subscriber mark on YouTube by quite a bit for the offseason, but we're closing in on 2K, so help us get there. We're also like 50 followers or a little bit fewer away from 5K followers on Twitter. So at HardwoodKnocks, go check us out there. Links to all our socials are in the description and on the screen. So just remember to subscribe, but let's get into this. I'm going to throw it up on the screen for people watching on YouTube. And as you can see, we got to get to 1,230 wins, 1,230 losses. So I have it set up that it should be automatically. And then I have it set up on the next doc where I can go through my standings really quickly at the end of this. And I have the wins. Might be mentioning those from last season. That'll help me give a baseline of if I think teams improved, how much worse that they got. But let's do this and see how long that it takes me. I was hoping for like 20 minutes or less here, but I guess we're about to find out. The Atlanta Hawks, 43 wins last year. I'm going to go with 46 right now. Boston Celtics at 51 last year. There are all kinds of Gallows injured. RW3 is going to be injured. Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett look like they're going to play a ton of roles. The Ime Udoka stuff, all sorts of weird. I'm just going to pencil them in for 50, which is a win fewer than last year. The Nets, I can't trust them as far as I could throw them. They're at 44 last year. Low key, Kevin Durant, since 2018, 2019, has appeared in fewer combined regular season playoff games than Joel Embiid and Kawhi Leonard, two players who are often dinged for their fragility. I just don't trust this team. I could see it imploding. Kyrie Irving always seems to miss time for stuff. Ben Simmons working his way back from a back injury, learning to fit in with his new teammates. I don't know what the defense is going to look like. They could still be really fucking good, though. I don't think they're a 50-win team. I'm going to say 46 as well for them. The Hornets, I just have no faith in. I feel like they're a team that might sort of implode during the season on purpose. Maybe Steve Clifford. I think that he'll be good to improve the defense, and his teams tend to get the low-hanging fruit and add a couple wins there. They were at 43 last year. I think they're going to be below that, though. And I'm just going to invert their record. 39 wins for the Charlotte Hornets. The Chicago Bulls, 46 last year. They dealt with a shit ton of injuries, more so than just Lonzo, but Caruso missed a ton of time. Patrick Williams missed a ton of time. Zach LaVine was dealing with and playing through some knee stuff. The Bulls, but I feel like they're going to win fewer. I'm going to put them at like 42. The Cleveland Cavaliers at 44, they trade for Donovan Mitchell. If they even just get better health, they had Jared Allen dealing with some stuff towards the end of last year. The bench, you could have faith in it. Maybe don't have faith in it. A full year of Karis LeVert. Rubio comes back at some point. I really love Dean Wade. Kevin Love had a great year last year. How many wins is Donovan Mitchell worth to this team with the East being so deep? I'm going to go with 50 for the Cavs. I'm a big believer in the Cavs. The Mavericks, I don't know. They're talking about signing Facundo Campazzo, which if you need a third ball handler, you probably should have thought about that sooner so that you didn't have to wind up using Josh Green or Frank Ntilikina and then falling back to Facundo Campazzo. They were at 52 last year. Luka, slow start. He might dominate all season. He looks like he's in pretty good shape. He's probably good for close to 50 wins himself. I'm going to go with 48, and I might even be a little generous here. The Nuggets, 48 wins last year with basically no Michael Porter Jr., and he sucked when he was in sucked, but he wasn't great when he was playing. No Jamal Murray. Looking at some of those bench units, I just feel like even if they cake in some maintenance for MPJ, for Jamal Murray, even if Jokic just can't go full bore during the regular season because of the past 3 years, this team's going to win a shit ton of games, I think. I'm going 55. Detroit Pistons, 23 wins last year. They're probably better. I don't know what they can do this year in the East, which is deeper, so wins are harder to come by. And if the Magic like the Magic or the Pistons will probably end up being better than expected, which will come at the expense of the other team. I'm just going to put them in for like 27 for now. Golden State, with the Draymond Green stuff sort of floating around out there, they are going to be reliant on some more of the kiddos more. They had 53 last year. Is that reasonable to assume that they do that again? I'm just going to pencil him in for 53 again. I love Steph Curry. I think he might be my MVP pick. I'm debating between him and Giannis right now. And there was some Zion and Pascal consideration in there, if anybody cares. The Rockets, 20 wins last year. I do think they get more than that, but they're just going to be so overmatched in the West. I'm going to say 25. I'm going to say 26. That even feels low. The Pacers, I just feel like having sub 25, I'm going to put them in for 25 wins again, but they're a team that if they trade Miles Turner, they might just be bad on purpose, and we could see them pull an OKC and sort of shut down Tyrese Halliburton, like at the halfway point or the three-quarters pole. The Clippers, 42 wins last year. You have to imagine they're going to get better health from one of Kawhi, Norman Powell, and Paul George, if not all three of those dudes. I think they're a 50-win team, but they won't care as much about the regular season. I'm going to go 51 here. The Lakers, if they're not going to trade Westbrook, you'll get better health from AD and LeBron. They're going to be in the 30s for me. Let's go 38 and just move on. They need to trade Russ or make the roster make sense, at least. The Grizzlies, 56 last year. No Triple J to start the season. I kind of think they overachieved a little bit last year, but I've been wrong on them for 4 years in a row. I don't even know what the over-under is on them just yet. I haven't done their look-ahead pod. 56 wins. The West is tougher. It's going to be fewer than that. And I'm going to say, I feel like this is going to make people mad. I'm going to say 48. The Miami Heat, 53 last year. They're a little bit older. Kyle Lowry's apparently in better shape. And if he's healthier, he's also dealing with a lot of personal stuff. Tyler Hero, again, another year from him. But they're really going to miss PJ Tucker. I'm going to put them in for 50. Milwaukee, 51. We don't know when Chris Middleton's going to come back. They're a team that they're the least combustible team, maybe in the NBA. Like, just their infrastructure is just so dependable. So I'm going to say that they get better, and let's go with 53 here. The Timberwolves, 46. How much better did they get with the Rudy Gobert trade? I'm going to say they get pretty better. I'm going to go 49. New Orleans Pelicans. I don't know if this is. I thought I was like ahead of the Pelicans, but I'm starting to realize how high people are on the Pelicans. If you tell me Zion plays in 60 games, I'm smashing their over, whatever that is sitting at. I don't even remember it from the pod that we did. Look, let's do it. 52 wins for the Pelicans. Let's get drunk here. The Knicks, 37 and 45. I probably have a little bit higher of hopes for them, even though the East is deeper. Julius Randle, hopefully he buys into a more complimentary role. Jalen Brunson's really fucking good. I'm trying to manifest RJ Barrett for most improved player, even though I think it's going to be LaMelo Ball. If they play Quentin Grimes, if they play more of the kids, Obi, just a shot of adrenaline. I love Isaiah Hartenstein. That was a fantastic signing. I think they're like a 500 team, maybe. That might be one we come back to. OKC, 24 wins, no Chet. Going under that now feels like reasonable, but I did give 26 wins to the Rockets, who are probably better on paper than them. Let's just say OKC. And look, Victor Wembanyama is going to factor in this. We're going 23 for OKC. They tanked the shit out of this. I feel like the Magic could be really good. The Fultz injury has me concerned. They're going to be missing Jalen Suggs, who didn't have a great rookie year, but I think he was going to be really good this season, especially when being able to play with Paolo Banchero and Wendell Carter Jr. and Franz Wagner. Those three together are super interesting. The guard play on this team is a huge question mark, but I do think it wouldn't surprise me if they get into the 30s. I'm going to put them in 31. Philadelphia, 51 and 31. That almost feels about right, but taking another year of Tyrese Maxey, James Harden being in shape, and they won 51 when they had just that empty rotation slot because of Ben Simmons for so much of last year. 54? Is that too? Like, why would they win more than the Bucks, though? You have a 50. I'm going to put the Bucks. Let's go 54 for the Bucks, and let's put 53 for the Sixers. The Suns. This is a big one. They won 64 last year. We don't know what's going to happen with the Jay Crowder situation. The bench, there are players that I like on there. Damian Lee. I'm a big-ish Wainwright guy. Let's see if he has his hands up all the time, and he's very plug and play on offense. And he even put the ball on the floor a bit in open space, in addition to just fanning out to the corners, and just isn't a ball stopper either. So who keep the ball moving? Will he play, though, is the question. Their secondary big man rotation makes me uneasy. There's a lot of good things being said about Jock Landale right now. He might usurp Bismack Biyombo and maybe even Dario Saric in that backup 5 spot, but there's still so many questions. They're going to be worse. Chris Paul's older. Devin Booker fucking rules. I just think we can't overestimate. There's some drama going there, but let's not overestimate. I'm going to give him a 10-win drop, and that's a pretty substantial drop. Maybe they load manage CP3 or have to deal with an injury, but I think we need to recognize collectively that the Suns are just still really freaking good. Even if you don't believe in them for the playoffs, I think this team makes a move, and they would still be a regular season machine. When you look at sort of the top 5 players on their roster, it gets iffy after 5 right away, unless you just believe in campaign, believe in Josh Okogie or Damian Lee or Torrey Craig or Jock Landale or Bismack Beyond. I mean, yeah, I'm talking myself out of it right now. That's why 54. If you told me they traded for like Gary Trent Jr. or even fucking Cody Martin from Charlotte, who's a trade target, I think they should go after, I might nudge it up a bit. I have no idea what to do on Portland. 27 and 55. I'm just putting them at 41. They feel like that type of team. They're a little shallow and unproven. How much are they going to develop Shaedon Sharpe? Can Anthony Simons carry those lineups without Dame? I think Dame will be great this year for what it's worth, though. The Kings, I don't know, 37. I think they're like 38. 38 for the Kings. The Spurs, they're going to be bad on purpose. I don't know if they're the worst team in the NBA because they have a lot of really intriguing players, most of whom are young. And so, yeah, you can trade Jakob Poeltl and Josh Richardson and Doug McDermott, but how many wins does it actually cost you? They were at 34 last year. I think that we're going to see some real time. I'm going to put them at 25. The Raptors, 48 last year. They're better. Otto Porter Jr., they signed him. Precious Achiuwa, I whiffed on him. Just always trust the Raptors. I did it with Scotty Barnes. I did it with Gary Trent Jr. because I thought I learned, but I didn't do it with Precious Achiuwa. They're really, I've heard some good things about Christian Coloco and Delano Banton. There's been a lot of great things said about them. I still very much worry about their half-court offense and maybe their shooting overall, especially if they end up moving GTJ because he's in a contract year. I'm going to pencil them in at 48 again, but they feel like they could be a better team. Let's give them some respect at 49. The Jazz. Now, Jazz fans, I am going to do a Jazz look ahead, and I've seen Jazz fans get rightfully so concerned that their team's not going to get enough coverage or they're going to be misinterpreted because they're going to be so bad. And I've also seen a lot of Jazz fans say this team will be better than expected. Look at the talent. My big thing is even the Jazz can say whatever they want about not tanking. This team is going to look drastically different by the trade deadline. You look at Conley, you look at Malik Beasley, you look at Rudy Gay being there, although how much of an impact does he have? You look at Jordan Clarkson, even who people said, oh, he's more likely to extend than be traded. This team is just going to look different, even if it's shutting guys down. I think we need to remember that. And so I do think they have a chance to be the worst team in the league. Do I think they're going to be worse than OKC at this point? If you tell me they play the vets, I'm going to say no, but they might be right in line. I'm going 27 for now because they might win. Let's go 28 because they might win too many regular season games. Well, I'm like spot on the money if you're looking at these totals right now. Or no, I'm not spot on the money. I'm going to be off by quite a bit. The Wizards. I don't fucking know. 35 games last year. I feel like they just might be there again. Can you count on Kristaps for a whole year? What does this defense sort of look like? They have a bunch of really intriguing wings with Denny Avdia, Kyle Kuzma. I like Will Barton. I like Monte Morris. Something's just amiss with this squad, and I can't put my finger on it. I don't think they're deep enough is probably one. Are you going to, who are you trusting really to defend like the other premier players? I guess Kuzma can do that. Denny Avdia can even do that a little bit. Bradley Beal will probably have a bounce back season. This team is tough. They're at 35. Let's assume Bradley Beal's healthier and better. And 39. All right. So I need 41 more losses here for anyone who could see. I'm at 41 over. That is probably pretty high. So let's see who I'm too high, too low on. 46 for Atlanta. I don't want to go lower. Boston, let's put them at 49. They're in a mid 50. I mean, they don't have Udoka. They're dealing with some injuries. Let's just go. Al Horford's older. I'm going to go 49. The Nets at 46. You know what? Thumb down 45. I don't care. The Hornets, I think I'm being too much of a coward with how low I am on them. Like, this isn't a team that I really believe in. 36. I think they might not be like super bad, and there might be some really good development if you're looking at LaMelo Ball. James Bouknight does not look great in the preseason, by the way. That kind of hurts my soul. But they could flip a switch too and decide to enter the tank sweepstakes. So we'll revisit them. I'm not moving Chicago down. I'm going to try not move Cleveland down at 50. Dallas at 48. I trust Luka and not the Mavericks, if that makes any sense. The Nuggets at 55. I'm going to be bullish there. If 55 is the highest win total, I could see them having the best regular season record. Let's leave that. The Pistons at 27. Man, I'm going to leave them there. I feel like I didn't even go up enough. Let's give the Warriors just they're not going to give a shit about the regular season. Let's give them 52. The Rockets at 26, the Pacers at 25. There's some room on the Pacers. I think maybe there's a like are they worse than last year? Because Turner might be healthier, but they're not going to have Sabonis, who was their best player. Tyrese Halliburton's going to be a lot better, though. I really like Benedict Mathurin. Isaiah Jackson intrigues me. Although not, he was talking more about his ball skills. I spoke with Caitlin Cooper about that. That's rough. I'm going to leave them for now. The Clippers at 51. I'm just going to leave them. They're so deep, so good. Do I want to bring the Lakers down to like 37 or something? Leave them at 38. You know what? It's time. I'm sorry. I can't be a coward here. I hope I'm wrong. The Grizzlies are so much fun. We're going 46. You know what? Are we going 45? No, 46 for the Grizzlies. 49 for Miami. Just some regression there. 54 for Milwaukee. Not moving off that. Minnesota at 49. How do we feel about 48 for Minnesota? I think that's maybe fine. 52 for New Orleans. That's like a very easy one to come off of, but I'm not moving off the 51 one. 51 right there. Sticking with it. Knicks at 41 and 41. Maybe I'm being a homer here and too high on them. Let's just see where I end up with. OKC at 23 is a lot. Orlando, I'll give them 30 instead of 31. Philly at 53 and the Suns at 54. I'm going to leave it. Just see how much I'm off by. The Blazers at 500. I'm going to leave it. The Kings at 38. I'm going to leave it. The Spurs at 25. You know what? They're the team. They're the team that I think is going to steer into the tank the most. The Spurs at 23. The Raptors at 49. I'm not moving that. The Jazz at 28. There's some wiggle room there. Let's see where we are. The Wizards at 39. I'm still 27 wins short. It's time. We got to start making some tough cuts here. I don't know where to go. This is why I'm doing these in real time. I want to see if I can process it. It's time to start trimming the fat. I'm too high on all these teams. Let's start again. Atlanta 46. No. Boston 49. No. Brooklyn 45. I want to go lower. The Hornets. Look, Charlotte, I'm sorry. I think there's real implosive potential here. 34 for Charlotte. Are the Bulls a 41 win team? Man, no Lonzo for so much of the year. So important to their defense. Is DeRozan going to be as clutch as he was last year? Vooch has looked okay in the preseason. That's good. 41 for Chicago. Cleveland at 50. That's like begging me to probably pull it down. You know what? 47 for Dallas. I love you, Luka, but I don't trust the supporting cast at all. The Nuggets at 55. No, I'm staying. Bullish on the Nuggets. 27 for Detroit, 52 for Golden State, 26 for Houston. I think there'll be some shenanigans in Houston. Let's just say like it's plus 4 wins. Why should they be if they might trade Eric Gordon and really lean into like Tari Eason's look great. So they start playing him over Jay Sean Tate, 24. And that means I got to bring the Pacers down to 24 as well. The Clippers at 51. LA at 38. Memphis is at 46. Guys, I'm sorry. Ladies, gentlemen, everyone. I'm just anyone out there. I'm apologizing. This is so bad. I can't do it. I can't bring Memphis down to 44, 45. Can I? Let's leave it for now. Milwaukee at 54. Maybe I'm a little bit. Maybe they won't care about the regular season as much. Middleton has missed some time. All right, 53 on Milwaukee. 53 on Milwaukee. New Orleans. 51. I'm sticking with it. 41 for the Knicks. I'm going to stick with it too. Talk me out of it. Orlando at 30 is probably the one where I really need to pull back on. I said there's a chance that I think they're better than the Hornets. And it's so like, why are you going to come down? Leave them for now. Philadelphia at 53. I just keep coming back to how are they not? I'm just dropping shit all over the place because I'm worrying right now. Philadelphia at 53. How are they not better than they were last? They won 51. I know the East is deeper, but holy shit. I'm going to leave it. Phoenix at 54. Nope. Going to be bullish. You know what? Portland, it's time. I'm confused. Portland, you're at 38. Are you better than even the Kings? No. 30. I'm going to say 37 for the Kings. Do you really think the Blazers are better than the Kings? I don't. 37 for both the Kings and the Blazers. The Spurs, do I trust them? It always feels like, and I'm not looking at this as totally, but it always feels like there's a 20-win team somewhere. Where are we getting that this year? Not taking off the Raptors, the Jazz. Let's come back one off the Jazz. And then the Wizards. It's time to they're implosive. I don't see it. 2 more wins. I'm still 11 short. 11 short. This is amazing. This is hard. This is so hard. Are you ready to 40 wins for the Bulls? I think that's fair. Cleveland, you should just come off the 50. I'm not going to do it. I really think that they're a lot better than people are crediting them. Mavericks at 47, that's like, if you're telling me Luka's healthy, that's my limit. Detroit at 27, I don't want to do it, but I might do it. Golden State at 52, one win worse, and they're going to be they haven't necessarily solved the non-Steph minutes. What's going on with Draymond? How much are you going to play Wiseman and Kuminga and Moody? How much are you relying on them? I'm going to leave them at 52. 24 for the Rockets and the Pacers. That's really low for both those guys. I'm sticking. You have to probably be bold and pick a team that's going to be bad. Is it OKC? Is it just I'm so high on so many members of their core, but I don't know that they really are the ones that are invested. Like Detroit traded for Bojan. Indiana still has Miles Turner. Houston has Eric Gordon as well. Jayshawn Tate, they skew a little veteran there. And then also Alperen Şengün was among the most seasoned rookies last year. I can't get lower there. The Lakers at, you know what? The Lakers at 37. Okay. Memphis at 40. It's happened. Memphis at 45. I'm sorry. I hope I'm wrong. I'm going to go 48 for the Heat. They just feel a little bit shallower. I guess you have a full year of Victor Oladipo. Milwaukee at 53. Minnesota at 48. Like, are they really only going to be one win better? I'm not going to say it. The Pelicans at 51. The Knicks. Let's try and stick it. I got to pick a team that's going to just suck something awful, whether it's on purpose. I would be annoyed if the Thunder shut down Shea, and I could see development from Josh Giddey. I love Lou Dort. Kenrich Williams is there. Ousmane Dieng, if he's able to just hit any sort of set jumper for them. Is this they won 24 last year while shutting down Shea, and I already just gave them 23. How astronomically stupid is that? Man. No, can't do it. Phoenix, Philadelphia, 53, 37 for the Kings and the Blazers, 23. This is the team. San Antonio, I'm sorry. The Raptors at 49. I want to stay there. I really think the Jazz are going to get bad on purpose. Let's bring them down to 26. It's not an insult. I think that's what they need to do this year. I'm still 4 short. You know what? Wizards, I don't believe in you. And it's time to make the call that I've been dreading. The Hornets. I don't know if the Hornets are a 35-win team, even with LaMelo. They're good. Steve Clifford's amazing, but I can't. It's time to make some bold leaps here. I think the Hornets are going to end up being a lot worse than people expect, even if the talent suggests that they shouldn't be. But I mean, I think how many more wins am I short? 1. I need to come up with 1 loss somewhere. Denver at 54 is just low-hanging fruit, but I mean at 55 is low-hanging fruit. I'm not doing it though. I'm trying to really stick with my beliefs here. The Pistons getting 4 wins better. They have Bojan. Do they keep him? I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna. Well, let's just see. The Pistons I might move to 26. Houston and India at 24. That's fine. Clippers at 51. Lakers at 37. Memphis at 45. I feel wildly uneasy about. The Heat at 48. Bucks at 53, Minnesota at 48, Pelicans 51. There's probably some low-hanging fruit. What if I just make them a 50-win team? Let's just do it. There it is. Unless I want to pull back elsewhere. I can't. I just feel like the rebuilding teams might even be better than we expect. But the tanking race might also be sort of epic. And so I probably could come up if I just took a win away because shenanigans are up. But I already have OKC being worse than last year, which is so counterintuitive. So here's what's happening. I'm going to go 20 for San Antonio and 24 for OKC. Same record as last year, assuming some tanking shenanigans there. I don't think Orlando really gets like too far into the tank. I'm going to say Indiana really steers into the tank this year. It gets worse. They're at 23. I'm going to be able to throw some more wins around, folks. Don't worry about it. Detroit at 27. That's the tough one. I'm going to say no, because even if they try and be organically bad, I think the talent's a little bit too deep. So I believe I have a couple wins to throw around now. And I have 1 win to throw around. Do I give it to the Hornets or do I give it to I'll give it to the Grizzlies. 46 for the Grizzlies. All right, let's check out what my standings are. So we will do this. All right, so as of now, I have Milwaukee and Philadelphia tied for the 1 seed in the East at 53 wins. My math is clearly off here because I'll fix it now, but there's some clear Google Doc shenanigans here, but live time, thought I had everything set up properly. I apologize. So, all right, 53-29 for Milwaukee and Philadelphia. 50 for the Cavs is the 3 seed. Wow, that's all sorts of bizarre on my end. Whatever. Boston is the 4 seed, and the Raptors with 49 wins. Miami checks in at number 6 with 48 wins. Atlanta, number 7 at 46. Brooklyn, I get in there at 8 at 45. I have the Knicks and Bulls at 9 and 10 with 41 and 40 wins specifically. So my play-in teams in the East right now are Washington, Charlotte, Orlando, Detroit, Indiana. That feels fair. That feels fair. So yeah, let's now look at the West standings. Denver, I have as the one seed. I know that with their 55 wins. So that's an easy one to go by. Let me sort this to get the records here. Los Angeles Clippers 51 as the 2 seed. No, I have Phoenix as a 2 seed at 54. Golden State as the 3 seed at 52. The Clippers is the 4 seed at 51 with the Pelicans, the 5 seed at 50. That was with the Pelicans hitting 50 games. I really want to just put the Pelicans in. Like, this is where maybe I should be changing win totals right now. Do I pull back and think the Clippers are only going to get to 50? They're so deep, but it's like, how many games do their stars miss? They really don't care about the regular season. I might just do it. Like, I feel like it's time to be bold here. I'm supposed to be high on the Pelicans. Why don't you be high on the Pelicans? 51 wins for the Pelicans. And we're going to give 50 wins for the Clippers, or is there someone else that I feel confident in pulling that back from? I don't want to go with 25 for the Jazz. I think that they might try and get, Wembanyama, man. I'm doing it. Utah, I just think you're going to look drastically different or you're going to shut guys down. It's not an insult. I think that's what you need to do. I'm not low-hanging fruit there. I'm not trying to do that. So I have the Pelicans or the Clippers with the 4 seed at 51. Minnesota is 5 at 48. Dallas is 6 at 47. I'm apparently higher on Dallas than I thought. Memphis is 7, or Memphis is 8, excuse me. So I have Denver at 1 with 55, Phoenix at 2 with 54, Golden State at 3 with 52, the Pelicans at 4 with 51 / the Clippers at 51. Number 6, the Timberwolves at 48. Number 7, the Mavs at 47. The Grizzlies 8 at 46. And then I have the Kings, the Lakers, and the Blazers in a 3-way tie for the play-in with 37 wins. Is there any way I could cut that? Do we think that OKC is just going to get bad? I have 4 teams in the West with 20 something wins. I can't do it. I can't do it. So we're just going to leave that as is. If anything, I would probably pull back a win from the Lakers and give it, but the Kings for the play-in teams is the Mavs, Grizzlies, and then 2 from the Kings, Lakers, Trailblazers. That feels right. Jazz, OKC, Houston, and San Antonio as the bottom 4 teams. Hope you enjoy this. Let me know what you think. If you have record projections, please, pretty please, with sugar on top. If you have not done so already, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast on Apple and Spotify, but also hit that subscribe button on YouTube if that's where you're watching. This was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, as always, I leave a shout out to the one, the only, the legendary, the one who could single-handedly push the Mavericks to 50-plus wins, Frank Ntilikina.